I don't think I've ever picked pumpkins before.
You've never picked pumpkins?
No. How many of you guys have never picked pumpkins? I've never picked pumpkins. You picked pumpkins?
Yeah.
Of course you pick pumpkins. You grow pumpkins. Look, there's a watermelon.
Oh my goodness.
Look, they're hauling them off back there. What's up? Here. I'm gonna go dump some pumpkins.
What's wrong? Dad, don't touch that. Oh, Dad! Come on, man.
All the way back in there.
You gotta be more careful than that.
Because next year there'll be pumpkins growing back out. Around the
Look at the new pumpkin patch right there. Over by the tree.
God, this is so much better since I started reading it.
I think it was better when there was a tree house up there.
Oh, there's gook in there.
Yeah, there's a gook in there.
You see that goat?
See, look, Mom, look how good they were.
I like the vines in this.
What? We're gonna turn that into a YouTube song. You're gonna be famous.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The tree
And then we're
house
gonna-
isn't working out very well.
Yeah. Treehouse isn't.
It's not holding out on us.
It's seen better days.
Well, yeah, it looks like, yeah, half the tree fell
I
over.
wouldn't be surprised if this winter more comes down.
Right? Oh, well.
Don't go over my cuticle.
I know, I'm trying to butt it up against your cuticle. Okay.
Now what?
So then it says to push down and stretch onto your. Big ass TVs.
You're funny.
Well, they don't mean donkey.
Donkey! Not very good, is it?
Imagine Shrek not being Scottish.
No, I refuse. There it is. I didn't get a great shot of it, but... Hello, everyone. Caitlin and I went out to...
I look like a crazy person. I can tell that I overdid that way too much. Anyway.
We just drove to...
I think we technically went to Bowersville.
Bowersville? Okay, but what do we do?
Oh, Anyway, we just sold an old portable wireless pet containment system that we bought when we were living in the bus in the barn. And we have absolutely no use for it anymore, so why not sell it to
Make it
somebody else?
$100, right? So we made $100. I think we spent originally $270 on it, so that's a pretty good return considering we haven't used it in what, a year and a half, 2 years,
Yeah.
something like that. From closer to 2 years, easy.
Yeah, I had it online at $125, and she asked me earlier if she could take it for $100, and I was like, dude, we take it, done, let's do this.
We've also been in the talks about what we do if we can't afford our bus. And if we, that's a scary one, right? Like,
I don't like this conversation. It brings a lot of tears, so impromptu apologization.
So yeah, there is a strong potential that we will not be able to we will not be able to afford the fixes that need to be made in order for our bus to confidently be driven across country.
In our current financial situation. So we've been brainstorming ways to bring that financial situation into something more workable to get our bus back, because neither of us are very excited about the prospect of not going back to the bus. Like, we're okay with that being what needs to happen if that needs to happen.
We will be responsible people and not try to fret about it for too long.
We're not going to die in that bus in a parking lot.
Right.
But we want to avoid it at all rational costs.
We've invested a lot of time and money and, well, emotions. Yeah, emotions, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think every single day I look at you and say, Caitlin, I love our bus.
I know, me too.
Just literally about every single day I've said that to Caitlin.
And since we haven't been in it, we've looked at each other and been like, I miss the bus.
I miss the bus
I want to be in the bus.
So we're looking at, well, I guess the middle to the end of this week.
He said late next week. On last Thursday, we got a text that said that the parts wouldn't even be here until late next week. So I'm assuming that the job won't even be started until 1 week from tomorrow, which is a Monday. I assume the parts will get in sometime late this week, now that we've gone a little bit of time, and that he'll be doing other jobs over the weekend. The person we're working with is a very busy person.
Very, very busy person. We had been trying for a couple of years now to actually get a solid appointment with this guy.
The only reason we got one.
And it was that was all relatively preemptive, so that we would have a person when we were ready to bring our bus to a mechanic. And we had heard that this guy is the best around, but we had a very tough time getting a hold of him. But so we took it to a different place, a place that Caitlin's mother had suggested, Red Lion Automotive. And lo and behold, we get a call back from a guy named Steve. And that just happens to be the same Steve we had been trying to get in contact and set an appointment with. And it sounds like he's not employed at Red Lion Automotive, but he is the guy that they call when they have big projects like ours.
Yeah, he's the guy that everybody calls when they've been stumped. And unfortunately, I believe we may have stumped the best. And it's not that he's stumped. I guess that's not the right way to describe it, because he knows what's wrong and he knows how to fix it.
And he knows that it'll cost us $4,000 in 2 weeks of time to actually
somewhere
fix it.
different, not at Red Lion Automotive. We have to figure out that as well. So it's not that he can't do it. It's more that he won't do it.
If we've stumped him at all, we have stumped him on how to do it in a way that we can afford.
Yeah, without
in a way that's not going to break the bank, and he is very invested, it seems, to keep us on the road without us spending all of our money, because I think that's the last thing he wants to see, is us spend all of our money and not be able to actually do what it is we've been dreaming of doing.
Right.
So we're very grateful for what he's done, but if the worst comes to worst, all we have is $4,000.
Yeah.
We can't spend all $4,000 on fixing our bus.
This one fix of the bus.
This one fix, because who knows? I mean, it's got one fix. We might need another. They
Just
say
if the tires look good doesn't mean one's not going to blow. Doesn't mean we're not going to run over something sharp.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't mean
it doesn't
even mean we're not going to hit something and have to pay an insurance deductible. Like, we don't have $500 if we use $4,000 to fix this. So it's stupid to do anything in the bus if we put all of that towards the bus. So we need to figure out a way to bring that $4,000 number higher, so that if the mechanic says you need to give us $4,000, we can confidently give them $4,000 and still have the safety net of
potentially have to tow the bus
things
to a different mechanic.
Yeah,
There's another mechanic might quote us higher, might quote us lower.
And we know that if anything happens to the bus that requires a tow, it's going to be at least $600 to $700, no matter how short of a distance it needs to get towed. It can be towed a mile and a half. It's still going to be expensive.
Just to get it on the truck, I can't imagine what it would cost.
Exactly. So we have to have a safety net. So we logically, right now, our rational brains, what we want to do in our original plan was we have about $1,500 left of the money from the car sales to go towards this bus. So we need to bring, and this rest is a safety net. So we need to bring that $1,500 to $4,000. So we need to somehow find $2,500.
We have a few assets that we feel we might be able to liquidate. We have two generators, one 2200 watt Honda that we've converted over to propane. We have a 4500 watt Yamaha generator that is a very, very quiet. It's their EU 4500i or something. No, that's the Honda.
The Honda.
Any rate, it's the super run quiet, like 70 decibel under load 4500 watt Yamaha generator. We spent I think 3,000 on it, 3,500.
I think it was 3,500.
3,500 on it. So we might be able to get 2,000 out of that.
Yeah, we've never used it. We've never put oil in it. We've never put fuel in it. We've never run it. So it's still dry and been taken care care of really well, just been stored and carried along with us. So we're really hoping that could be what fixes this problem. And we kind of just came up with another little more out there idea.
But it's not the worst idea I think we've ever had.
Other than the generator, another one of our larger assets is this car. The car that I'm driving right now. We don't
paid it off. We bought it outright when we purchased it back in April 1st of 2017.
April Fool's Day.
No one believed we bought it.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so we bought this car, and since we don't have a payment on it, and we still are under warranty right now, that's not transferable. But we're kind of mulling over the idea of seeing if we could sell this going west without a car, just in the bus, so that we can travel together finally. If the bus is going to be fixed, we don't need a car. Put some of that money aside so that I don't have to work while we're traveling to get out west. Once we get out west, we find a place to park the bus, make a home base, get a beater car for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000.
And it doesn't have to be a beater.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a beater for.
I mean,
but
it's just something under $5,000.
Yeah, something under $6,000 that would be a good DoorDasher or just something that takes you to and from work, and that would really help as well. So it would be nice to be able to keep the car, but at the same time,
well, also I have my motorcycle, which I'm working to put back together.
I kind of totally forgot about that. He's been working on that the past couple of days, so we might have that as well to sell. I'm not really sure what our tier of what we want to sell first is. We're still mulling over all of the pros and cons of everything, because I never considered selling the Subaru, but there are a couple pros in there.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, if we can get $15,000 for it, which is what Kelly Blue Book says is the average price for a vehicle, this vehicle in fair condition, which,
with more miles.
With more miles, considerably.
$15,000 can definitely get us west and get us a place to live.
Oh, absolutely. Buy us land. We could get good land, put down money on good land.
And if we've got a good bill of health with the bus, I'm a lot more confident that being our only thing taking
this
around.
This might have been the best oil leak we ever had in our lives.
I hate that. I hate the way this works.
That's why I haven't batted an eye.
I've been crying so much.
You have not been being able to understand how it is I've been so calm through this. I know.
I'm not even calm right now.
I've seen it. You looked at me like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Our house is broken.
And I said just last week, or just before we got the bus back with such poor news, that I'm not questioning things anymore. So many things in our lives have not worked out, and then all of a sudden, magically, it's the best thing that ever happened to us, and it was exactly what needed to happen. There's no reason to question things even if there wasn't a positive, it's not the end of the world. We're not just gonna die just because the bus died.
Yeah, I'm having a little harder time coming to terms with that until it's made clear to me. This right here. That's why I started tearing up, because
really
we found a solution. We actually have a solution now that allows us to keep the home that we love, and potentially even get something better out of it, because this is a fucking car.
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
I'll get another one of these fucking things. I was so much more attached to the two Mustangs, and I can't do anything about that now.
Nope.
So we might as well get way more for this. Should have just done this in the first place. I wish we had a place to store those cars, just make a Minecraft real small and just put them in a chest somewhere.
She's been on Minecraft like crack.
There are very few video games that I get into, and that's one of them that I really enjoyed. But
we've enjoyed it together.
But if I can get over getting rid of all the stuff that we've donated recently, getting over the fact that I don't need it, moving it from the apartment to the bus, I never thought that I would be okay with that. And now all the stuff that I have at my parents' house, I still have this weird attachment to it, but I don't ever see it. I don't ever touch it. I don't ever think about it. But then I open a box and I'm like, oh my god, look at all this crap that I could use.
And you saved it just for that one moment where you open the box and feel that euphoria, and then you close it and tuck it away until the next time.
The last time I did this 2 days ago, I got rid of half of the stuff, so that's
I'm
a
not
good
saying
thing.
you, I'm saying the royal you.
But
And
I
me,
mean,
it's
I'm
all present.
a
parties.
borderline hoarder for sure. And it's not
both
like
are.
it's not like I am borderline hoarder with like the stuff that people consider trash, cuz like I don't keep newspapers and old plates and trash and stuff.
I think I'd be more inclined to do that.
Yeah, but like I'm that person. I bought a pack of Postit notes. These Postit notes are still Postit notes.
It's so pretty. Sorry,
You're fine.
I needed to inform them what we're doing. Look at them. You guys appreciate it.
Yeah. So I have all of these unused.
But yeah, Post-it
things,
notes that are still just in their packaging.
Yeah, like why would I get rid of this? Why would I throw it away? Why would I give it to somebody? Because at some point in my life, I'm gonna need a Post-it note again.
I think Caitlin's favorite thing in this world is office supplies.
Oh my god, I could live in an office, Max, and be happy forever.
Because
there's something about organizational, stationary things that, like, I never do them well in practice.
Well,
but there's this thing in my head that's like, you want all of it, and you love the thought of making a planner, and you love the thought of organizing everything by colors. But, like, I wish I could just think it and it happened. It breaks down in the application.
Yeah.
the thought is there. But yes, I love school supplies, office supplies. I'm all about it. All about it.
So at any rate, getting rid of things isn't as hard as I thought.
It's still difficult for sure, and I still have way too much stuff. My room is still, at my parents' house, is still full of crap on crap on crap. And useful things, and heirlooms that I could never fathom actually getting rid of. But it's gotten easier and easier. I feel free, that freeness that everybody talks about. I'm starting to feel it, but there's so much fear. It's like this circle where, like, you have that fear and you finally find an answer, and then that's when you get the freeing feeling. But
I love how you said when you said that's when you get the sun hits your face. It's just like that's when you get the freeing feeling.
Yeah, nature is on it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I absolutely agree, and I think the closer we come to actually being able to move across country,
which I never fathomed ever doing.
Right, ever.
Up until, like, when we were in high school, we constantly told each other as a couple, like, we're gonna be together and we're gonna live in Lebanon. We're gonna find an apartment downtown. We're gonna live in the city.
We talked about getting an apartment above the Village ice cream parlor.
Yeah. And
that couldn't be further from what I want.
I'd live there.
Oh,
I guess.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a beautiful downtown area. I mean, you couldn't beat being able to look out over Broadway, but that's not what I want.
No.
Maybe that if there are mountains closer.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
But I still don't want to be in an apartment. I want my own land.
I don't. When we were talking earlier about, like, when Ray was talking yesterday.
Did we talk earlier about?
Yeah, so my grandfather Ray, we went to Menards with him because he has a lot of handyman construction experience, both just in life application and in actual career opportunities that he had all through his life. He knows a lot about everything.
It seems that way, yeah.
Yeah, so we took him with us to Menards since he was in town, and he showed us kind of all the pieces that we were going to need to pretty much figure out how to vent our wood stove without spending an arm and a leg on both pieces from Canada, from the same people who made the wood stove.
The cubic wood stove.
And saving us some money so that we don't have to call in a professional fireplace person to kind of just tell us what we kind of already know.
I need a shirt with a professional fireplace person, like a fireplace that's got like a hat.
Oh my
Sorry.
goodness. But so he went with us to Menards, and we were looking at all those pieces, and he was spot on. He helped us out really well, showing us all the different pieces that we were going to need and telling us how they were going to fit together and showing us really how it was all going to work out, so that it wasn't just like, oh, well, you need this piece and that piece, but...
Well, and now we have names for everything.
And we have pictures.
And we have pictures, we have prices, we've got...
Yeah, we've got a lot more information, and information makes us a lot more confident.
Absolutely.
So he was with us, and while we were on the way, he kind of asked us what our backup plan was.
Oh my god, do you see that boat? That's one of those like super crazy fast speedboat things.
You didn't even move the camera.
Yeah, fuck those people. Sorry.
He doesn't even think you should see it.
No, I could put a picture.
He'll find a picture on the
right
internet and he's gonna show it to you guys.
Right here.
Anyway.
Right here.
He asked us what our backup plan was. Oh my goodness, that's enough boat pictures.
What about this one?
Shut up.
What about this one? Okay, no.
He asked us what our backup plan was, and I didn't have one. I was like,
We've talked about backup
I mean,
plans.
yeah, but like I was like, we fixed the bus, obviously. I don't know past that. But why did we bring up Ray? You maybe gave him too much backstory. Now I forgot where I was going with it.
You said that you wanted to talk about what we were talking about yesterday, or earlier, with Ray, about backup plans.
It's the worst video ever.
No. We're talking about realizing moving west. We never would have done it. We just talked about being above, moving downtown, wanting our own space.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about backup plans and all about how we were going to go west regardless of if we had the bus or not. And while we were talking about all that, Brandon was kind of going over like what that would kind of look like. Like we'd drive the Subaru with our essential things and the dogs. We'd get there, we'd rent an apartment, we'd get jobs, we would set up a home base, we'd work our way back up from pretty much where we were 4 or 5 years ago. Here, we'd just be there doing it instead. And that's not a terrible idea. It's not a bad plan. It's something that is still our backup to our backup to our backup to our backup.
I mean, we have a friend, Raul, from high school, who graduated a year prior to us, and he's one of our best friends, has been one of our friends for probably the longest, and he moved to China. Just on a whim, like
he did a study abroad and just kind of didn't come back. Unless he was visiting.
Right now he knows a whole nother language. He knows Chinese. He knows some Japanese. He knows some Korean. Like he's met a ton of people. He's gone on dozens of vacations, probably a good 100 at this point.
Yeah.
He's gone to all different kinds of countries. He's traveled the world, and he I mean.
He's figured it out.
He's figured it out. Like if you could go to a different, literally the other side of the world where they don't speak the language, and not everybody, most people don't speak your language, and you start from nothing.